Hey traders, Shane from GMT Futures. In this video, what I wanted to do is just take you through how to optimize your computer for trading. So really it's cleaning it up, getting a lot of the junk off your computer that maybe or potentially can slow you down or slow the processing down. So ideally when we're trading, we want our computer to run at its optimal, and I've just spent a little bit of time with one of our tech guys, and what I thought I would do, I took some notes, so I thought I'd take you through how to actually optimize your computer and get the most out of it so it's running at its absolute best. Okay, so let's go through some of the tips that we've picked up. And first up, this is really the computer, your computer, your trading computer is where you're making your living. So the last thing you want to do is be having a lot of third-party applications, games and things like that that are going to impact on potentially your ability to get nice clean data and have that data coming through so it's uninterrupted. So ideally what you want is you want your charting, your virus scanner, chat room software. For us that's on Novia, and then your execution platform. So really they're the main applications you want to be running on your trading computer. So if you can have it so you've just got those applications running, then that's ideal. Now one of the questions we get, or one of the questions I've had a few times and I've asked myself, is how much memory do we need to run these applications? Because we know some of the applications we run are very memory intensive. They'll suck up a lot of memory. So what we want to do is just quickly have a look at how or where you're placed as far as your memory. Okay, so the easiest way to get an idea of how much memory your system's running, basically you can hold down the start key and hit the pause break button. So that'll basically bring up your system properties window. The other way you can get there is just to go start and then go into your control panel. So go to control panel and then click on your system. So if you click on system at the top here, open that up and that'll bring up your specifications on your computer. You can see this computer here is running 3 gigabytes of RAM. So really our minimum here wants to be about 2 gig of RAM to run our trading computer. That's ideally what we want to have as a minimum, particularly if you're running applications. If you're running a third-party execution platform, you're running your charting package, we know that either eSignal or if you've got TradeStation or NinjaTrader, all of those applications use up a bit of RAM, so you want to make sure that you haven't got a deficiency there. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is have a look at how many programs we've got running during the day. That can definitely slow your computer down, and the easiest way to do that is to load up, is to have a look at our taskbar. Now I'll bring the taskbar up so we can have a look at that. Now when we talk about programs running during the day, some programs are designed to automatically start up when you start your computer up, and they're really designed to kind of run together, but a lot of the time they don't, and that's where you can have issues with your platform freezing, or where you've got too many applications running in the background, and they're basically chewing up your processing power. Okay, so down on our taskbar here you see that we've got our applications that are running on startup. And as we go through, you can see that we've actually got more than 4 here. Really, ideally, to optimize our trading computer, we want to only have around 3 to 4 max. And as you can see, I've got go-to meetings. There's a safely remove hardware, Skype. I've got my volume. We've got a local area connection there. We've got Adobe, virus scanner, Microsoft Outlook. So there are things here that are running on startup. So we just want to get it so we've only really got the critical things that we need there running. So ideally we only want 3 to 4, as I said before. So let's see if we can get rid of a couple of these things that we're not really using, and just strip it back. So what these things will do, they'll eat up memory during the day, and they could actually potentially cause problems when you're executing mission critical applications. So you've got to be very careful, particularly obviously when we're trading and we're acquiring data coming in constantly as well from our feed from TradeStation or Ninja or eSignal, whichever trading platform you're using. So most computers come configured like this, so they automatically start up with a number of applications. And as I've been advised today, most people don't really know how to turn these off, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Based on our training today, we'll go through and show you how to turn some of these things off that aren't critical, and that way it'll give your processing power a lot more. It'll allow you to have a lot more processing power and just minimise the drain of resources on your computer. So we'll go through a few things here to help minimize your open applications and save some memory. So let's get straight into it. So the first thing we want to do is click on the start and then our run button. So and then what you'll get here is what you'll get is an open dialog like this one. What we do here is type in ms config and OK, and that'll bring us to the system configuration utility. So what this does is it allows us to change the way our system starts up when it reboots or when it starts up in the morning. So we don't really want to play with any of this stuff up here, general, system, win, boot, and we want to leave all that stuff alone. The only thing we want to look at is the startup box. So let's have a look here at our startup. These are things that start up in your startup tab, is where all your applications launch, and they potentially suck up system resources and waste RAM. So we want to kind of address and identify any of these applications that we don't necessarily want to use or want to have starting up. And already I can see on mine that there's a number there that need to be taken off as far as the startup, which will improve the processing of the computer. So if you want to be super quick about it, you can just disable all, and they'll all be disabled, and then choose the ones that you think you want to give you want to basically allow to start up when your computer starts up. So that function won't keep Windows from starting up or running, but it'll turn off everything that you had running from the boot. So whatever applications automatically started up when you booted up or started whatever applications you generally would have starting up as you start your computer up, that'll require you to actually physically go in and start them up. They won't automatically start up. So probably the easiest way is to enable all, because you definitely don't want your antivirus software or your antivirus scanner basically getting turned off and then you manually going in and do it. You're wanting that to be running all the time. So what we'll do is we'll enable all, and then we'll go through and selectively take out what we think. We'll take out the applications that we know we don't want to be running as we start our computer up. So let's have a look here. We've got, not too sure what that one is, SSDF. So I'll have to come back, log me in, we can take that out. You can take that one out there. AVP. Okay, that can go out. Reader, Adobe. We've got Google toolbar notification, go out. Skype, I'll leave that running. And Dropbox can come out, so Soundman, we'll leave that, and that should hopefully. Alright, so if you do have things on your system config utility, your general startup items in this processing area that come up and you're not sure what they are, the easiest way to do is type into Google what is SSPDF agent D, and that will generally come up with an explanation as to what it is. So it's a process belonging to the SmartSoft PDF printer. So I'm not running a SmartSoft PDF printer anymore. I haven't been for about 6 months. So that's one thing I can get rid of, I can remove, and that will help to reduce the amount of processing memory that's getting sucked in when I start my computer up. So both of those can get clicked off as removed on startup. Now log me in, as I said before, taking that off. Now I don't know what JUSCHED is, so I've just typed into Google what that is, and this is a pretty cool website, How to Geek. I just typed it in and it came up with that, and it says what is JUSCHED, and it says that if you've looked into the task manager and wondered what on earth this process is, then it's basically something to do with Java update scheduler. So, well, that's definitely something we can get rid of, or at least turn off as part of our processing. So we can get rid of that. So if you do go, probably a good thing to do as you go through your taskbar and look at your startup options is to, if you're not sure what application it is, just type into Google what is it, and it'll come up with an explanation as to what that particular application is and whether you need it or not, because you'll probably find that there's a lot in there that have just been dumped into the or just automatically starting up as part of your resource boot, or starting up as part of your computer startup, and that you don't really need. So it's definitely a worthwhile exercise. Now when we click OK here, it's going to ask us, you must restart your computer for some of the changes to be made. So we'll do that later, because obviously I don't want to restart it straight away. So we'll exit without the restart, and when we restart next time, we'll lose a lot of those applications. So that means that, and I'll just turn that one off anyway, so we'll get rid of that, and that will help us, obviously help us with our resources and our memory as well. So alright traders, that's about it for the Windows stuff. Now I'm going to go through a couple of programs you can use to get rid of spam and any type of hijack. So let's jump in and do that. Okay traders, so we're going to just have a quick look at antivirus software. Now just have a look at your computer just to make sure that what type of antivirus software you're running, because what you'll find is that antivirus software can have a significant impact on the processing power of your CPU. So a lot of the virus software that's out there, particularly Norton's and I think to possibly a lesser extent McAfee, they tend to be very CPU intensive. So what you want to do is try to get an antivirus software package that has less impact on your CPU processing. And I've just been advised that AVG, they've got a free version, but they've also obviously got the paid version. But the free version is really good in relation to running that, and has is less demanding as far as your resources. So that's an option. But what you definitely should do is, before you even consider changing your virus software, just have a look at what's available, and maybe speak to a professional in relation to the different types of software. If you've got something you're already happy with, stay with it obviously, but that's just something to look into and consider, and just have a look at how it's impacted. The easiest way to get to that, the easiest way to find out how much of an impact your virus software is having on your processor, is just to have a look. Just Control-Alt-Delete will bring up your Windows Task Manager, and there you'll find your virus software listed on there, and you just go to that. And for me, that is, have a look at how much usage it's pulling. So what's its current usage, and how taxing it is on your CPU. So that's definitely one thing you want to do when you're checking your virus software. So that's the link there for the free AVG antivirus edition, and we'll go on to our next topic, which is spyware. So the next thing we want to look at is basically spyware removal. Now spyware are things that will typically be loaded onto your computer that you don't necessarily ask for. So there'll be pop-up screens, they might be advertising for casinos or adult themes, so things that you generally don't want on your computer and haven't requested, but they tend to just get downloaded or appear, or they do is they stay loaded in your memory. They can cause problems with other applications. So what you really want to do with this any type of spyware removal application that you've got is probably run it once a month. So that was the advice I got, so I'm going to pass that on. So running it once a month, and some of the applications that you can use to remove spyware, obviously Microsoft have got a version that they have for Microsoft Office. So if you if you follow that link, or basically download that link, you'll see that Microsoft have got a Safety and Security Center, and this is where you can basically tap in and download a spyware application. So spyware, as it says there, is a general term used to describe software that performs certain behaviours, generally without appropriate. So spyware is basically, as we've mentioned before, software that performs a behaviour on your PC without your consent, so really you don't want that on there. So I'd as quickly as possible. If you go into the resources area, you'll see that there's protect my computer. So by clicking on watch out for fake virus alerts and also prevent spyware, you can actually download and install anti-spyware protection here. So that's a great little option for Microsoft. So the other application we want to run on a regular basis once a month is Spybot, and that will also help to eliminate any of these unwanted pop-ups or any of the unwanted cookies or things that are being dropped on your or left on your computer that you don't want to potentially interfere with any of your trading applications. So this also is also a free application here to download and run. Obviously the Spybot software. So if you go to, you'll see that there's Spybot Search and Destroy. So hey traders, so the last thing we want to look at now is malware. So malware is basically malicious software consisting of programs, code, scripts, anything that potentially can get into your computer, and it's usually left from tracking through websites, but anything can potentially, like Trojans, viruses, that can get into your computer and possibly disrupt the general operation of your trading computer. So we want to protect our computer against that type of foreign invasion. So one of the things we can use is anti-malware protection. So I've just got a link there for a website which is malwarebytes.org, and if you click on that website you'll see that a free version of anti-malware software. So let's go and do that. I've just pasted that in, and it'll take us to this website here, and you'll see that you've got products here, and under the product section you've got Malwarebytes anti-malware free. So that's the one we want, and that'll allow you to download that software and run the anti-malware free sweeper that will clean up your computer and just take off any of those things that potentially may be harming your PC. And that pretty much wraps our cleanup up. So that's it for this series of optimizing your PC. If you have questions, feel free to email through. Otherwise, our next session will be on setting up your trading PC. So thank you for your time, everyone. I hope that was useful.